The Indiana Fever just had a really feel-good win against the Phoenix Mercury, and if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I'm going to break down the game for you. Before we get into the film, though, we've got to talk about just a couple of things. I loved how everybody showed up to win this game. It wasn't just Ari McDonald save us, even though early on it was her saving the Fever. It was Damiris Dantas having big moments in this game. It was Sydney Colson having stretches of being the best player on the court. It was Lexi Hull playing with effort, getting steals, getting out in transition, and finding Chloe Bibby, who hit some big-time threes throughout the entirety of this game. It was Kelsey Mitchell having her moments, making big-time shots, even though she got benched for a good portion of the later part of this game. Sophie Cunningham showed up, made big-time shots, played with effort. Same with Tosh Howard, even though she didn't fill the stat sheet, she got a big block against DeWanna Bonner, which shifted the tide of the momentum in this game. And to top it all off, even though Aaliyah Boston had a lot of trouble finishing around the rim for the first 3 quarters of this game, the fourth quarter was the Aaliyah Boston show. She was absolutely spectacular in that fourth quarter, and I think she is the reason why they were able to seal it off. You see Cunningham had 12, Bibby had 10, you see Dantas had 10. That is everybody filling the stat sheet, and all those players I listed showed up at different points in the game, and their contributions matter. That was definitely a statement game for the Indiana Fever, and I love seeing everybody come together. This is probably the most teamwork I've seen from this team throughout the entirety of the season. I love this game, but let's go ahead and get into the film so you can see how it happened. Now, in the first quarter, the Indiana Fever ended up going down 10 points, and it was plays like this. Look at Alyssa Thomas getting to the cup, making this layup, and then getting a steal, which ends up leading to the Phoenix Mercury getting a Kalia Copper 3 in the corner, and she drills it. That makes it a 10-point game. This is a collapse of a play for the Indiana Fever. This kind of sums up the first 6 to 10 minutes of this game. The first quarter was not the best quarter for the Fever, but it also amplifies what they're about to do in turning this game around. And early on, Alyssa Thomas was going to work hitting these mid-range jump shots. She ended off the game with 32 points on 14 for 22 shooting from the field, so she was pretty good out there, but she's always freaking complaining and crying, always yapping. It's just huff to watch her, man. I don't like her at all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But she was hooping. You got to give her the benefit of the doubt, even though she's a crybaby LeBron James style complainer. Nobody want to hear all that, man. Play the game. But later in this first quarter, you can see it's a 12-point game, and the Fever had a stretch, about a 50-second stretch of trash right before this play, but Damiris Dantas saves the day with the big-time 3-point jump shot. It was looking like the Fever were about to go down 20 to end the first quarter. I'm telling y'all, the play was bad, but the Fever got lucky because the Mercury were missing shots, and they were able to get this 3 where Dantas kind of steadies the shit for the Indiana Fever. This was a big-time play, and it kind of shifted the momentum of the game. And then look at this. Chloe Bibby's in the game, and Sydney Colson's pushing it up the floor, finding her on the wing, and she drills a 3-point jump shot. Look, Chloe Bibby is my new best friend. The Fever need a person who can shoot the basketball that's not a center, and Chloe Bibby fits the description. I think she's like a better version of Katie Lou Samuelson, and so you get that Katie Lou Samuelson shooting without all the negatives that come with Katie. I like seeing Chloe Bibby on the team. As Matthew would say, we got C Bibby in the chat. We don't do no P Diddy, but we do that C Bibby, man. Shout out to Bibby. And the Fever do end up going down 10 points again, but I want you to see who is saving the day. It's Ari McDonald getting the ball on the wing here, drilling this 3-point jump shot. She was cooking, man. First half, I think she had something like 17 to 19 points, bro. She was going crazy. And sure, she calmed down in the second half, but what she did in the first half set the stage for the momentum that the other players brought to the second half. She was a big staple part of this game, even though she did not play it this way for the entirety of it. And look at this next one. Lexi Hull gets this steal, gets it up to Ari in transition, who hits this tough layup at the cup. She was hitting threes, and then she was getting down into the paint. She was doing it all in this game. She was also playmaking. I love her performance, man. This is why you signed Ari McDonald. This is why all the fans wanted her to be here. This is why I made a tweet saying we were going to ride if Ari didn't end up on this team. It's because she can do this. She's not going to do it every game. She's going to have bad games. She is still just a bench caliber player, in my opinion. But this is the kind of spark you need to win a championship. You need your role players to come in and play tough basketball, kind of like what Derek White was for the 24 Celtics. And Sydney Colson was also exceptional in this game. Look at her right here, stopping on a dime, shooting this 3-point jump shot in transition. This is what I love to see from Sydney Colson. She was dishing the ball. She was getting led to the cup. She was doing it all, playing defense. I loved her game. Her and Ari McDonald were the guards to help the Fever get this win. Kelsey Mitchell did get benched in this game. She was not playing the best basketball, but Kelsey had her moments, and she did help the Fever win. But Coulson and Airy were the best guards for the Fever out there, which is why they got prioritized at the end. And this right here is what I love to see. DeWanna Bonner throwing up this ooga booga bull crap, missing, and then look at her getting swatted right after this from Tosh. This is what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you come back to Indiana after being a traitor, after being slimy and grimy. You come back to Indiana, you're going to get booed and you're going to get cooked. We're going to send you right back home with that bull crap. Get out of here, coach. You are not welcome in Indiana. And look what we're doing on the other end. Look at the dream shake from Damiris Dantas. What is this right here? I ain't seen this from her before. This was tough. I ain't gonna lie. But she was cooking in this game. She made some big time shots. And this stretch right here in the third quarter was her stretch. But going into the fourth quarter, it is a close game. And this was the Aaliyah Boston show. Look at her getting this offensive rebound, going back up with it just to start things off slow. She became a tank here in this fourth quarter. I was complaining throughout the entirety of the live watch party about Aaliyah Boston. And it was justified because she was missing layups throughout the first three quarters. I mean, every single attempt at the cup, she would miss it. I was like, what the heck is going on with this chick? And then she shut me up in the fourth quarter, man. She went berserk. Kind of like this play right here, her pushing into the defense, just burrowing into everybody, getting this and one at the cup. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on, you a polar bear. Use your size, guy. You big and you bulky. How about you move these folks out the way? That's what I'm talking about, AB. And look at this right here. You got Sophie Cunningham dipping into the paint, kicking out to Chloe Bibby, and Chloe is hidden. See Bibby at it once again. That's what I'm talking about. You call her C Bibby, CB3, whatever you want to call her, I'm with it. The only thing I don't like about her is her last name, because I can't take it seriously. Why is your last name Bibby? Other than that, she cooking. And this right here basically seals the game in my book. Yes, the Mercury do come back and fight a little bit, but this is where I'm going to end off the breakdown. Look at Sophie Cunningham coming off this screen set for her by Natasha Howard. I love to see the Fever setting screens to get their shooters open, and Sophie drills it, 4-point play. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Sophie Cunningham is hyped. I'm hyped. Fever hype. This is our win. This is what I'm talking about. A game where you're probably not supposed to win. You're playing against a team that's better than you, but the Fever come out and they get the dub. They get it done with no Caitlin Clark. That's what I'm talking about. I needed this win as much as the Fever did because I've been getting boring of this basketball with no Caitlin Clark, and today they upped it. Everybody showed out. Everybody played with energy. This was a fun game. It was no dull part of it. Well, the first quarter was kind of dull, but other than that, man, they got it done. I love watching this game. It was fun in the live watch party. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Hopefully the Fever can keep this up, man. Keep these games exciting so people can tune in with no Caitlin Clark for just a little while. Obviously, we want Caitlin back, and this is not sustainable, but hey, everybody can play together. Everybody can improve their game with no Caitlin. That way, by the time she's back, this team is looking like championship Indiana, and then you just add Caitlin to the mix, and they go from contenders to winning the chip. You never know. Let's just keep refining our game. That way, when Caitlin comes back, everybody will be ready to make a playoff push. But once again, hopefully this is sustainable because the Fever do this thing where they play really good and then they play really trash. So hopefully they can win the next game as well, and I don't have to make a complaining video in my next one. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did, man. I'm about to get out of here. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.